Welcome back to another accounting video in which we're going to talk about current liabilities, this time relating to compensated absences. So in the previous video, we talked about payroll taxes. So in addition to paying salaries and wages, the employer is burdened with paying payroll taxes. And now we're looking at another benefit they pay their employees, and this is compensated absences. So let's take a look at a quick example of a company that has as of January 2nd, 2019, when they began operations, they have 9 individuals who work for them, 8 hours a day, and are paid hourly. Each employee earns 10 paid vacation days and 6 paid sick days annually. Vacation days may be taken after January 15th of the year following the year in which they are earned. So the first year, no one is going to take vacation time. The second year, they are entitled to take the vacation they earned in the year before. 6 days of sick days may be taken as soon as they are earned. Unused sick days may accumulate. Additional information is as follows. So for the first 2 years, our hourly rate is $10, then it moved to $11. The vacation used first year obviously is 0, the second year is 9. And the sick days used in the first year is 4, and the second year is 5. And this is per employee. So they tell us that the company has chosen to accrue the cost of compensated absences at the rate of pay in effect during the period in which they are earned, and to accrue sick pay when they are earned. So once again, what we're looking at is at the end of each year, they're going to do all the journal entries based on the current wage rate. So let's start with December 31st, 2019. We know that we are going to have vacation expense, and we're going to have a liability. So now let's take a look at how we are doing the calculation over here. So we know we have our employees are entitled to this vacation. So let's start in 2019. In the first year, the number of employees I have in the first year in 2019 multiplied by the hourly rate, multiplied by the number of hours they work each day, and the number of days that they have earned. So for the first year, we have all the information here. We have 9 employees. These 9 employees earn $10 per hour. They work 8 hours a day, and they have earned 10 days of vacation, okay? So this adds up to a total dollar amount of $7,200. This is for year 1. This is our journal entry for year 1. This is how much they've earned. It's an expense for me right now. And in my books, it's a liability because the employee can take this vacation next year, not in the current year, okay? Now, we also have our employees who have earned sick leave. So for sick leave, our journal entry is sick leave expense debit, sick leave liability credit or payable credit. Okay, how do we do this calculation? Similar to what we have done up over here. We go to the calculations. We have 9 employees. The hourly rate is $10 per hour. They work 8 hours. Now the difference over here is they earn 6 days of sick leave. So that's a total of $43.20. That's a dollar amount that we have over here, $43.20. Now in the first year, they don't have any vacation that they've used, but they have used 4 days of sick leave. Each of the employees, of the 6 that they're allowed to use, they've used 4. Okay, so what's our journal entry when they use the sick leave? In the current year, it's sick leave debit, sick leave liability debit, and cash credit. So how many days are they using over here? Let's do the calculation. The calculation you're going to look at over here is you're going to have 9 hours. Let me do the calculation over here and show you. 9 employees times 4 days times 8 hours a day times $10 per hour. That works out to $28.80. That's how much they have. They took vacation, they took sick leave, and when they took sick leave, we had to pay them. They didn't have to work for us because they had earned it already by way of the work that they had done. Okay, so at this point of time, how much is left in that account? The sick leave liability account, the amount left is $14.40. Okay, now the reason this is significant is next year when they use their sick leave, 5 days. They first take the remaining 2 days from this year. They were allowed 6 days, they've used 4, so there's 2 days remaining. That's what this 1440 is. We'll have to first use that before we dip into the current year 2020. And there is a small issue, and we will see what that is in a minute. Let's go through the motions of doing this now for the second year, for 2020. What's the major difference? Your hourly rate, that's what's going to be different. Here it is $10 per hour. And that's what I mentioned earlier. It's going to be different, as in it's going to be $11 per hour. Okay, so that's the major difference that we have. So when you go through all the calculations, the difference is the $11 per hour. So it's more expensive, obviously. Okay, so it's more expensive over here. So our journal entry essentially stays the same in terms of the accounts you debit and credit. That part is the same. We've already calculated our amounts, so that one is easy. Okay, so we got the amounts from here. The vacation time is $79.20. The sick leave is $47.52. The main difference over here is the extra dollar, the hourly rate for the employees. Now, in the second year, the employees used 9 days of vacation. How many days did they earn? They earned 10 days. They used 9 of the 10 days. So that one is relatively easy. Vacation liability debit. I'm going to leave one line and write cash credit, and we'll see how that's going to play out over here. In the second year, when they're taking their vacation, when they're taking the 9 days of vacation, will they be paid at the rate of $10 per hour or $11 per hour? They're going to be paid at the rate of $11 per hour. We have done the accrual at the rate of $10 per hour because last year, that's the information we had when we did the journal entry. We didn't know what the hourly rate was going to be in the next year when the employee took the vacation. So this number that we have over here is based on the current year's compensation, $11 per hour. But I had the information in that I already had a liability in my books at the rate of $10 per hour. So that extra $1 per hour, I'm not going to go back and redo last year's journal entry. I just charge vacation expense for the current year, $648. That's a $1 extra that they're the vacation time they've taken. So it's basically 9 days times 8 hours per day times the 9 employees times $1. That's the amount that we come up with over here. Okay. Now, let's see what happens with the sick leave. What's going to be different over here? When I told you earlier about these numbers, I told you we need to do an adjustment. So let's see what it's going to be. Again, when they take their sick leave, it's sick leave debit, liability debit, and cash credit. Again, notice I've left a line over here. They took 5 days of sick leave. The compensation, the hourly rate is $11. So it's 5 days times 8 hours per day times 11 times 9 employees. And that amount works out to $39.60. How much did I have in the account over here? I had $14.40 over here from last year. Now I also did the journal entry for this year, so I have liability over here. But I first need to do the accrual entry to adjust for the 2 days left from last year. Again, recall, they earned 6 days of sick leave. Of the 6 days of sick leave, they already used 4 days. What they did not use was 2 days over here. And that's a journal entry that I need to do in terms of making the adjustment. Okay, so I do the adjustment over here, and that again is going to be the sick leave expense debit 144. And the liability is what we have as a balancing figure. So it's basically this 1440 will be wiped out, plus will be eating into the liability from the current year. That is the accrual from the current year. So once again, this issue arises when a company does not, when they tell the employees that you're allowed to accrue your, whether it's the vacation or the sick leave, this continues to be a problem. Think about it, if there's an employee who is told that you can accrue sick leave forever, and when it comes time to retiring, you're told that you can cash out that sick leave. It could be a significant amount. There are people who are known, especially in government agencies, who started out working 30 years ago when their compensation rate was way lower than what it is when they retire. And they've accumulated something like 6 months to a year worth of sick leave and they never took it. And now they want to take all of it. So if the company or the government, whoever it is, the employer has to pay it out, it gets to be a significant amount. So most companies, what they will do is they will tell you sick leave you can accumulate for up to 3 years. For the vacation, they will tell you it's use it or lose it. If you don't take your vacation, so if you accrued 10 days of vacation last year and you didn't use it this year, you're out of luck. They're not going to do anything. They're not going to give you that money. So in most cases, employees will take the vacation simply because if they don't, they lose out on it. Once again, when we do the accrual entry, it is at the prevailing rate. Okay, so whatever the compensation rate is, here it was $10 per hour, then it moved to 11. When you pay it out, when the employee takes a benefit, it's at the current rate. So even if they earned it last year and they're using it this year, they will be compensated at the current rate. So that's where we have a little bit of an issue with compensated absences. Once again, it's treated as a current liability because the assumption is employees are going to take that, make use of that benefit the next year. That's why it's called a current liability. So in the next exercise, we're going to switch gears and look at a different type of current liability, and that is going to be coupons and premiums given out to entice people to buy more.